Oh, the fear of rejection and how rejection hurts us a lot of times in our business. Hey, everybody, Chef Katrina here, and I want to talk about rejection, the fear of rejection, the fear of not saying the right thing, the fear of getting a no. This is a struggle all of us have. I don't know a single human being in the world that doesn't have to practice and work through the rejection that comes with asking somebody to take a look at an opportunity, asking somebody out on a date, inviting people to do things. Like rejection comes in all forms of where we are in life. So if you're joining me here today, just say hello. Let me know you're here joining me. Always excited to have this conversation and really just talk about what this actually looks like. Many of us, including myself, I am not taking myself out of this at all. I remember when I first got started online and I was inviting people to say, hey, take a look at what I do. I was inviting people actually to education. That was my big thing. I was like, the easiest thing for me to recommend for people is education and entertainment. I mean, that was the simplest thing I could think of because everybody was always asking for education, always asking for the next tool, always asking for the next piece of their puzzles, learn how to either build digitally, build online. They're always looking for information. So I started looking at in the very beginning, how can I just be an information provider? How can I just be a resource to tools that either I'm personally using or that are recommended to me that I've started to use that can make the difference? I found over the years that most people aren't wanting to join a business opportunity. It's not in their mindset right away. They're like, business opportunity, especially when you talk about things like network marketing. It's got a bad rep over the years. I'm not going to lie. Um, there's been some shady people out there. There's been people that have kind of destroyed the name. There have been things that people do. And guess what? It's never going to go away. I'm just telling you right now, people are people, and there are all kinds of them in the world. So let's talk about the world of rejection. Let's talk about how do you overcome when somebody says no to you and says no to your idea and says no to your opportunity. So here's one thing to look at when you're presenting something to somebody, you want to make sure that it's in their wheelhouse, right? I've presented opportunities to family, friends all the time, and they're an absolute no. So you have to look for the fact that not everybody's going to want to be part of your company, your product, or opportunity. Um, it might not be your thing whatsoever. So when asking somebody to join you in your business, be aware that their no is not to you. And I know this is the hardest thing to disassociate, but you actually can't have anybody saying no to you. You yourself, this person right here, this human being, this mind that's up here, we talk about this all the time. The 6 inches between your ears is is the most critical thing to start resetting. We call this the emotional intelligence up here. This is where you have to look at that I asked them a question and did they say no to the question? See, they can't say no to you personally. They can only say no to the question, the response, the product. It's everything is outside of you. It is completely outside of your realm, right? There's nothing that physically that you own, touch, feel are going to have around a business or product except for probably the emotion of dating. That's usually a no to you. That's probably the only time most of us experience true rejection. But in building businesses, you're looking to convey your passion for what you're seeing. And you're also conveying, is this something that makes sense to this person? Right? Does this make sense for them? Every time I get prospect, just a heads up, every time somebody prospects me for health and wellness, I'm pretty much a no straight away. It doesn't interest me when I have somebody in the network marketing industry go, oh my gosh, join me in health and wellness. And I'm like, don't care. So I'm not a great prospect for that. But I'm not saying no to you. I'm not saying no to what you're having the conversation we're having. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm just that's not something of interest to me. And you have to recognize that that's a lot of people. That's a lot of things that we deal with, right? That the rejection is a no to what they're being presented, but it's not a no to who you are. It's not a no to friendship. It's not a no to being family. It's not a no to anything else. It's understanding that the no is outside of you. And it kind of sounds a little woo woo and it takes some practice. I'm not going to say it doesn't take practice because it really does. Another thing we look at too is watch your text messages. This is another big one that I see a lot of my entrepreneurial friends, solo entrepreneur friends really get bent over is text messages that are perceived as rude, are perceived as mean, angry, um, all sorts of crazy stuff that go on there. And while that perception might be true for you, you might want to check how it was sent on the other side. See, text messages doesn't convey any emotion. It's literally words on a piece of paper, and how you interpret and read them up here is how it's going to sound. This is why I'm a big fan of live video, of phone calls, conversations, voice messages, because tonality, what we're saying, how we're saying it, is often missed in messaging people. It's often missed in text messages. It's very hard to relate and engage with somebody. Because anybody relate to this? Have you ever read a text message and it like made you angry or pissed you off, or you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they text me that message? How many of you have read that type of a message and just got really upset about it, only to find out that that is not actually what they sent in that text message? They were in a different place. They were maybe distracted. They were dealing with their kids, or something else was happening on their side. But how it was received on this side of the phone was vastly different, right? It happens all the time. So check your emotion when reading messages. Check your emotion to find out if that's actually what's being conveyed. And if you're unclear in the message, the best thing to do is to call somebody up and say, hey, I'm not sure I understand this. I'm serious, guys. This is like the biggest breakthrough to have with anybody around conversations, right? Most of the time, the rejection isn't for you. It's about what it is that they're hearing or not understanding, right? So getting clear in your language, and this takes practice. Again, this is not something that happens up overnight. This is not something you wake up and go, I'm a professional person that likes hearing no's. No, it's going to take you getting probably 7 to gosh, how many I'm going to see? Woo. Um, I want to say getting no's. I want to say it's probably like 1,000 no's at least minimum, right? Because you've got to get through the no's. You've got to start to remove and start listening to what you're hearing. But yeah, the interpretation around text messages, all caps, no caps. Some people don't realize they're writing in all caps. Some people think that's a better form of communication. You interpretation lies with you inside of this. But go for those no's, get the no's, and then get clarity around the no. What had you say no to this? And then listen, shut up and listen to what they're saying no to, and then be okay with what they give you, right? I always say, well, I know I'm not interested. Well, what has you not interested? And then they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, now I understand why this doesn't interest you at this time. Might I keep you in mind in the future and present this to you again? No, I really don't think I'm going to be interested. Okay, great. Based on what you've said, now got a double no. I'm pretty good with that one, right? So it's a matter of getting clarity around what had them say no so that you can kind of get out of your own space, right? Get it out of your head. Because a lot of the times we make a lot of crap up. I'm sorry, we do. We're amazing storytellers. People tell us something, and the story we create, the world we create around what they tell us is vastly different, I promise you, most of the time, than what happens on the other side and how they're conveying it. So get clarity around the no. Make sure that you feel complete having gotten the no, and that you're okay with wherever you're at right now around that conversation. So really, it's important that you yourself have to understand you physically cannot be rejected, but whatever you're putting out there, whatever the offer is, whatever the incentive is to join your business, be part of your company, start with you, that might be a no to that opportunity, that words, go, whatever that is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a no to you. It's not personal when you're building a business. And the more that we start recognizing the emotional intelligence that it takes to hear that no for what it is something you're going to work on. It's a muscle, it's a skill that you work on. And it might take you a full year, it might take you 5 years, it might take you a lifetime. Like, I believe it's a lifetime skill to work through getting those answers and being okay with whatever you're hearing. Because I know we get excited. We always want people to join us in our business. We always want people to join our coaching, join our network marketing business, be part of our new project. Like, we are always so excited. And in that excitement, when we ask somebody for, hey, can you help me do this, or can you join me, or whatever, it might be a no, but it's just listening for what they actually said no to, and get clarity around what has them say no. And when you get there, that makes all the difference in the world for how you're building, how you're becoming an entrepreneur, how you're dealing with rejection, and how you can continue to move forward with strength, trust, and belief. So you don't have to fake it till you make it to grow in here. You just have to have the faith that you know that you can achieve it, and then surround yourself with others that believe you can achieve it too. And a lot of that surrounding comes by being around other entrepreneurs, being around other individuals that are in the same place you are. Every community that I have joined over the last 14 years, one of the big things I always hear is, I finally found my home. I finally found a group of people that get me and understand me. And this is key to taking those first steps in growing your business. This is critical for your mindset, and you need to be around a community like this all the time. And you shouldn't have to just pay to get access to this community. They should be pouring into you so that you continue to get fed as an entrepreneur, so that you continue to grow as an entrepreneur, so that you can handle rejections better, so that this 6 inches between the ears, that mindset, that emotional intelligence gets stronger and stronger every day. And the best place to get this practice is in this complimentary free freedom challenge. Starts today for you. Jump right into it. So it's thechefkatrina.com/freedom. It's like right there. Um, so jump in, uh, come in, go through this, get surrounded by a community, get your level of belief raised, get a reset, whatever it is. But I'm telling you, getting and understanding that no, the rejection and everything else comes around being with and being around other people and entrepreneurs. With that, everybody, I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me here on the fear of rejection, how to understand the no is not a no against you, how to hear what you need to hear to make a better decision, and how to ask for clarity around a no so that you can get complete with the conversation and move forward to your next prospect. With that, I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. We'll talk to you soon, and thanks for joining me, Chef Katrina, here at the Chef's Table.